afternoon. I am going to try making some cranberry nut cookies. I don't know how they're going to come out. I bought the stuff to redo those muffins. I was sick of those. We need, I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of shortening that is, it's pretty, well, my kitchen's warm. 4 tablespoons of shortening. And you're going to want also a half a cup or a stick of butter, whichever one you prefer to be called. All right, that's my shortening. I'm putting it in a big bowl right now. Now we are going to add a whole stick of butter with the shortening right now. I forgot my knife. So I don't know how these are going to come out, but I'm going to swing it and see what we can come up with. I've been thinking about this for over 3 months. So it's finally got to me. I said, that's it, I'm doing this. I think the preservatives that they add into the shortening that you buy in the store is their stabilizer. Because when you make your own large, you will notice that it melts when the kitchen gets warm. Stick it in the freezer and it gets really hard. Now into this big bowl, we're also going to add 2 eggs. I should turn you down so you can see what I'm doing. Also going to need 1 cup of brown sugar. They don't, I don't know if I want the dark, so I decided I'll go ahead and use the light. So if you only have dark brown, by all means go ahead, but I'm using the light brown. I have more of it right now. Where did I? You will need to add a 3, well, let me get rid of this sugar down here. 3 tablespoons of milk. We're also going to have to add 1 tablespoon. Okay, where did I put it in? 1 teaspoon, I mean, of vanilla. All right, we're going to put this bowl to the side. We've got 3 bowls we're going to have to make. Okay. Put this one aside. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to put, let's see, I have to think of how I'm doing this. 2 cups of, all right, they want rolled oats, but that's not what I'm putting in mine. I am actually going to use a 5-grain hot cereal in this one. You'll find it in a health food store. This tastes like the texture of oats, and that's why I'm going to use this. And we need 2 cups of this. This is one of my favorites I like. Because I already had this hot, and it does have the flavor of oat, which is a little different. And we need 1.5 cups of cranberries, dried. The craisins, this is what we want, 1.5 cups of these. Yeah, this is going to be different, and we're going to find out if it works. Call them cran raisins or something. That's 1 cup. And there's 1/2 cup. Did I just drop one on the floor? Probably. All right, and we're going to need 3/4 of a cup of chopped nuts. Now, I'm using walnuts, but if you have pecans, you can use pecans because I've used them before. So let's get these chopping. I didn't have enough room to get everything out, so sometimes I have to walk to go find what I need. And we're going to chop these. And let's see, if I do this, do I want them fine or coarse? I've got to think about how I want them chopped right now. Let's see. If I put this into it, maybe a little coarse would be proper for this. I have to think. Oh, what the heck, dump it in. It's only a little bit more. I have so many things written down today. I was trying to find a book where I could keep my patterns in, you know, that I create, crocheting and trims and stuff. I've never done it, and I'm making things, and just dawned on me, nope. I have to repair one of them, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to repair. I'm going to have to figure out what I did, so I better write them down and draw a design and name them so I know what I have and what I have to get. Okay, just coarsely chopped. That bowl is full. Now I'll get another one. You're saying this is a lot of bowls. Yes, I know. All right, this one we're going to put, let's see. I'm going to put 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour in this, okay? Put in 1/2. That should do it. Okay. All right, then we're going to put 1.5 cups of flour in here. Yeah, that ratio should work. Always level off. It makes it easier. Now, we need salt. Let's see. Let's add a teaspoon of salt. That's wet, so we'll have to use this one instead. Baking soda. Yeah, it should work. Okay. 3/4 baking soda. I know you're probably saying it's $8, but I use a lot of things with baking soda in it. Three-fourths. What am I doing? Put that one in there. Yeah, 3/4 should be fine. Okay. I think I pretty much got everything. This the basics of all of this. Another milk. All right. We'll set the oven after because this has to sit a bit after we make it. Mix your flour ingredients together. What we're making is cookies. What? How many chucks would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck chuck wood? I haven't heard that in years, Holly. Okay. All right. I have to get my mixer, my hand mixer, so you're going to have to wait a minute. I know, and you're probably saying, well, why don't you already have it a lot? I have a very small area that I'm working on, so I have to make things work. So sometimes I can't get stuff out and I have it in the other room and I have to go get it. Okay. Oh. No, I've been thinking about this recipe, contemplating doing this. I took a basic recipe and I said, I want to do this instead. All right. We have to mix this up. I'm going to be at this for a bit. If my butter was not wet, but you know, it was soft, but it's going to be a bit for me doing this. You have time to make coffee or tea and come back. So I really think the preservative they put in the shortening is literally as a stabilizer. Because I know when I put my lard that I make, it's very hard when it comes out of the refrigerator. But yet, when I leave it out on the counter or in the cabinets, I notice that it's not melted, but it's extremely soft. Now, because these are cookies, I'm not going to sit there and coat the oats or anything. But I have to do this. They said thoroughly. Because they don't make cookies they used to. They used to be bound together and all. Now they just cut the paper close and they just glue them together so they fall apart fast. Before when they made cookies, they held together very, very well. Okay. Make sure you don't mess up. All right, you want a spoon to stir this in. They want you to stir the flour mixture in. going to dump these, all of this in. So I guess you could call this a health food cookie. I don't know. And cranberries. You know, you can always get dried cranberries. Just making sure it's all mixed. Okay, this has to sit because I've got some other stuff we have to do. So while I get the cookie sheets and stuff together, it can sit. Now you're going to set your oven, and I'm going to show you. Make sure you do it right. I know a lot of people leave your shelf wherever it's at when you buy it, but when you do cookies, they're like a small cake. So you have to take your shelf and move it up to the upper third. That's what you have to do. Just move it up to the upper third because they're so small, they'll burn before they're cooked on the bottom. This is why they always check the bottom of the cookies to see if you, in a contest, to make sure that you didn't burn them. That's why you move it up. Very important, always remember that. If they don't tell you where to put the shelf, it's always in the middle of the oven. Now, what temperature are we going to set? We're going to set our temperature at 375. Now we have to grease some cookie sheets, I think. Yeah, we're going to have to grease them. Yeah, we better grease it with all the sugar in it, yeah. Okay, I'll get you over here and get the cookie sheets out. Now, I've been thinking about this cookie recipe for so long, I thought I've got to do this. I wonder what it tastes like. That's interesting. I think I'm going to like these. Do I taste dough? Sure I do. Everybody has kittens about it, but I've done it all my life. I'm not going to stop now, you know. They say it's raw, it's this, it's that. Oh God, I didn't die from it. My brothers and I used to lick the beaters after my mother was done making a cake and all, you know. That was our treat. These are going to be good. I can tell you that right now. I'm a glutton. I torture myself making all these good things. My grandmother used to do that when she was good at candy making. My mother could lay a buffet out for a party. That was her skill. You only have to grease them once for people who are unaccustomed to making cookies from scratch. Once they tell you to grease a cookie sheet, grease it. There's some cookies that have so much butter they tell you not to. Now, what am I going to use? I'm going to use my hand. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Turn you down so you can see. I'm not going to be able to actually tell you the amount. They want it about this size, okay? This would be a good size. Maybe a little bigger, small. No, that should be. Just thinking, trying to get this down. If you have a big cookie sheet, you can probably get 12 on. I'm going to get 6 on because they're going to spread and you have to be aware of that. Well, I'm going to have to wet my hands on this. You're sticking to me. Okay, you might be able to do it better. Yeah. Gonna flatten them some. Somewhat controlling the size that they'll be. All right, that's one. How many are they going to make? I have no idea. I'd love to tell you, but I have no way of telling you, so I just don't know how many. I thought about these cookies for months, and I said, you've got to try them. It was an idea that just floated through. And we just have to wait for that oven. Now, I won't have you watching till I make the last cookie. But once we get the first batch out and it's cooled a few minutes on the rack, I'll taste them and let you know how they come out. Because this, like I said, I'm playing around in this. No, Amber. I'm actually clearing a space so I can put the rack there to put the cookies on so they can cool. Because it's going to be a lot of candy, I need the big rack. We're almost there. And I'll show you. I have them here, and we're waiting for that to get going. Amber, please, Taffy, you've got to get out of the way. You and your brother can't stay underfoot. I will step on you. So my cookies are ready. You can see, and we're just waiting for the oven now. And how long are they going to cook? Let's see. This kind of should cook about 12 minutes, if I remember correctly. As you can tell, I can't always remember all of them. Yeah, about 12 minutes. All right, so we'll need a spatula. When you make cookies, you have to have them on a very thin one, because if you don't, the spatula's too thick. When you go to take them off the cookie sheet, they will mess up, and you don't want that. All right. Now I'm thinking about calling these cranberry nut. Cranberry, well, I can't call them oatmeal. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put it in. We're gonna clock it 12 minutes. All right. So 56, that'll be 6 after. All right, so I got 12 minutes. And the first batch will be coming out. Which, yay! Oh, those pages are coming out. Thank you. Okay, that's all we can do now is wait, and that's it. We got 12 minutes. Once they do that, I'm going to be rotating. But as soon as the first batch cools enough to taste, I will taste them and let you know how they are, and then I will end the video, well, the live stream, because I'll be at it for an hour and a half. I know that. I just hope they come out. Got my fingers crossed. So let's see, who is on? Okay. I see 2 people who are talking, okay, and laughing. All right. I am dirty. Oh, by the way, I will not be doing a video tomorrow. I am going to bazaars with my girlfriend. She invited me. The churches are having them now because of the holidays. So we're going to spend the day, and then after we're done there, we're probably going to watch a very old movie. We're very good about doing that. She tries to find old black and whites that I haven't seen, or sometimes we'll watch The Great Escape, which is a very good movie as well. I don't know what she's going to find, but she finds some of them that I have not seen. She said, "Have you ever seen them?" I said, "Yes, I saw them," and I'm not good with horror flicks. I frighten too easy. Oh, okay. Well, we've got some time. I'm sorry, we do have some time. But once the first batch comes out, I'll be rotating, so I'll stay busy. We gotta wait for the first batch to come out. So I'm gonna sit down and wait. You can wait with me. See if I can fix this book. $1.99, $1.98. Okay. Shoot, that broke. Cookies. Yep. They don't have a name, but I'm going to find a name for them. I think I really like calling cranberry nut. I thought about putting coconut with them. I said, I'm going to do coconut. Nah. I thought about doing coconut banana muffins. But we just have to wait. No taffy. I told you, when I cook, no, you cannot get in my lap. Oh, I feel like this is going to drag out. You know, every time you look at the clock, it's always dragging out because you're waiting for something. Well, now it's 6 minutes. We're doing pretty good. Those muffins I made yesterday, I took a little bite of it. They have excellent flavor, but they didn't hold. And I questioned this recipe at the time that I had made it because they don't put any flour in it. And anybody who makes corn muffins or cornbread or something with corn, you add flours to it. But this recipe said it would work without adding flour. Right. So I'm going to redo that, ratio it out properly, and then I'll sit there and make it again. I bought the green chilies to do it again, and we'll see how it comes out. Well, we have 6 minutes. God, I usually do dishes and run around during this time frame. Here I am just sitting here, like you, waiting to find out if these things are going to work or not. We just don't know. But the dough tastes good. I tried that, so I know that tastes good. So I'm going to do some dishes. We only have 5 minutes, and I'll get these done in that short time. Give me something to do. Waiting is the hardest part when it comes to cooking, because you want to try what you've done. But I always like things, to try something. Like I was shocked. The muffins fell out of favor with people. I said, gee, that's strange. That's one of the easiest snacks to make. I think a lot of people have problems making them. That was a problem and an issue. I wouldn't even tell you how bad my first ones were.
What are you making, muffins?
No, I'm actually trying this cookie, a cranberry nut cookie. Oh. And I put in the 5 cereals on it, the 5 grain cereal.
Sure.
And I just thought the batter tastes good, because I tried the batter. I just want to see how the cookies come out,
Sure.
So I'm hoping 12 minutes will do it. I'll be right back. Oh, you're not going out the door, okay. That was my younger son. The one who doesn't talk when he's working with me in the kitchen. He probably thought you were on pause. And he didn't know you were live. Don't worry, the cookies are almost done. I know everybody's getting tired, waiting. At least I'll try one and we'll know how good they are. This is what we do. That's why most of the time when you do a live, they don't want to do this. You've got to clean your mess up. Okay, we're almost there. Dishes done. See, I told you. That is the training I grew up with. They're almost done. We have 1.5 more minutes, and they will be done. I see people come off on. So I guess you're waiting. I know we all are waiting. We just can't move any faster. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I always hear that they say take a cup and flatten cookies. I always sit there and use my finger. I just use my fingers and flatten it down. One more minute. And we'll check and see if it's too long or too short. The first batch, we're going to check the bottom of them. After they sit, we have to let them sit on that cookie sheet for 2 minutes so they can stabilize, and then we'll check them and then move them over to the rack. I only need to check one just to make sure that it is done. We can check. Here they are. Now, we have to let this set 2 minutes so they can stabilize, but I'll show you. I'll tilt you down a little more. There they are. I hope you can see them. And we'll see how they taste. They should come out. I mean, you know, I use the 5-grain cereal. You have to go to a health food store to get that. Or if you have a health food aisle at your store, you can pick it up. So that it's got 5 grains in it. And the cran apples. I really want to try one. I'm not supposed to touch it for another minute, but let's try it anyway. There. I've got to take them out a minute early. They're a little dark. And now we're going to try them. There's the texture inside. Yay! They are good. You will not be disappointed at all. They have a beautiful flavor. All the flavors went very well together. So I'm going to continue making cookies. But they're really, really, oh God, are they good. I don't think they're half as good. They really came out very, very nice. Thank you very much. Now I am going to go run and finish making cookies. These are very good. I hope you try them. I'll give a title to them when I put the video up. Oh, well, after it uploads, okay? So you take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.